Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Friesen.
I'm Brian Mattson.
This is Dead Reckoning.
This is the Spindle portion of our show, where Jay and I talk about current events and cool things going on through the lenses of our Christian faith. How's your week, Jay?
It's been good. It's been busy. I'm trying to remember what I did last week or even over the weekend, and I'm absolutely clueless. But I do know one thing.
You drank that much, huh?
No. Oh, I was house sitting for my in-laws. They were in Chicago helping my brother-in-law.
I like the connection that your brain just made. You're like, I said you had that much to drink, and you immediately went to in-laws. Okay. That's kind of funny.
My father-in-law has a substantial wine collection.
His wine cellar is awesome. I've seen it. It's huge. Yeah, it's fantastic.
So we did have some wine. He left us some wine we could drink.
That's cool.
But no, we've got a great show today. I do know that.
Yes.
We have Dr. Jason Wade Berry. He counsels some issues that I have live on
Jay decided he needed some marriage counseling, and we thought, why not do it live? We'll just bring the counselor on the show. The physician of our souls came on into the studio. We sat down and we hashed it out. It makes for quite an awesome segment, I must say.
And then we have, in honor of the pig, we go over to Nara Sushi and have Day Shin make us one killer dish called Rollin' Red. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So
in
if you're
honor
a sushi
of
fan,
the tuna and lobster and avocado and jalapeno and
there was bacon on the top.
Oh, I got to tell you, we already recorded this segment. I'm really feeling it, actually. It was awesome. I had a stomach flu over the weekend, so maybe that has something to do with it, too. Yeah, your whole family was sick,
wasn't it?
Yeah, that has something to do with it, too. No, and I was at a conference this last weekend. Was in San Francisco. For a symposium. This is an invitation-only symposium that my group, the Center for Cultural Leadership, does, and it's such a great time getting together with just some of my best friends, just intellectual kindred spirits, and we got together. But this is my third time in the Bay Area in San Francisco, and what an absolutely spectacular city that is. It's just amazing how crazy they are.
So you go to a super liberal city with a huge homosexual population
to hold our symposium,
a big conservative Christian get together.
What better place to do it? I just think San Francisco is amazing. What I don't like is they're so progressive, that it's like they really do want to drag us back into the dark ages. You see, because apparently they have something against indoor plumbing. All of the toilets are set to not put in enough water to actually flush your toilet.
No. You probably don't know how to use them very well. You've got to hold the lever down for longer.
I held the lever down. I'm sorry. It was terrible. Could not get a stinking toilet to flush in that city. So you're puking your guts out into the toilet. It was horrible.
And you can't flush it down.
The stomach flu, and I couldn't flush it down. I was not happy with the plumbing situation in San Francisco. And then, of course, they never want to wash your sheets or towels. So any of these hotels you go to is like, please help us save the planet by not washing your laundry. And I think it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I mean, coincidentally, it saves the hotel an awful lot of money not to have to launder your laundry. And isn't it nice when saving money also saves the planet? Just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
That is why Montana does not have emissions regulations.
Well, I mean,
I can pull parts out of my car.
We do actually.
And I'm not saving the environment.
You should not be admitting this stuff Molly
posted a Facebook photo from Pinterest about Jeremy on BBC's Top Gear.
Okay.
He's like some sort of face like this.
Yeah.
And then and then the caption underneath he says, "I don't always downshift, but when I do, I make sure it's next to a Prius so they know I'm hurting the environment."
You'd have a lot of opportunity to do that if you lived in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Making fun of Priuses. And I've got no catalytic converter, so it's like straight out of my turbo into the air.
Love it.
So fast.
We Montanans,
awesome.
We are just, what barbarians we are.
Oh, man. So what's on your Spindle Lab? Should I go first? Or
you go first, because I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did in San Francisco. You go ahead.
I'm going to pull out my trusty HTC 8X Windows phone, Microsoft.
By the way, drtv at redfutonfilms.com is where you can contact us, Microsoft, to send us the product placement check.
Yeah. So just a couple quick comments to start out the Spindle. Molly, as you know, it's No Shave November or No Shember or whatever you want to call it.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
No Shay No or whatever, hashtag whatever you want to do. Well, as you can see, I already have a glorious beard.
It is glorious.
And because I have a glorious beard and a glorious mustache, my wife, Molly, likes to refer to No Shave November as No Sex November because frequently for the wife, it's the same thing.
I don't get it. I actually just don't get the joke.
Oh, well, there is.
I just don't get it.
If you don't shave, you're not kissed. My wife says she doesn't like kissing a woolly sweater that smells like cigar smoke.
So it's no sex year for you. I'm like, really? Is that what you're telling me?
Now we know why we're counseling and above the pay grade.
Above the pay grade. We got to call it a marital counselor. Now I understand. Molly won't ever kiss
Thank you. I get plenty of sex.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Well, I was just following out the logic of your own lame joke.
Well,
dude.
so anyway, most of my cool news items come from my wife, Molly. And this next one she forwarded me from the Daily Caller. And speaking of facial hairs and no shaving, the godfather of hipsterdom, Gavin McInnes, is also founder of Vice.com. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it doesn't do much for culture.
Apparently I'm not a hipster. I don't know who this guy is.
Anyway, what he did, he made some electric statements a couple weeks ago about the fact that feminism is making women miserable.
I really would love to hear this because I think that's true, but I'd like to hear why Gavin thinks what.
Right. Well, you can read the article. Well, I'll put the article in the show notes, and I swear this time we really will.
That should be the running joke on this show. Anything we promise that will be on the show notes won't be.
You can actually just Google Godfather Hipsterdom Daily Caller and you get the article, or women, feminism, or whatever. Yep. But what I think was really interesting what I really liked about this article is that it really got back to something that we actually talked about. We talked about in Above the Pay Grade today, and that's the reversal of kind of the roles of how we believe God created man and woman. Because what's happening, what he points out in the article, is what's happening is the women are like getting into the workforce, going rah, 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 trying to run things, and they're looking over at their friends who are soccer moms going, that actually looks kind of fun. But no, I got to do this because I'm a feminist, and that's what I got to do.
You're being politically incorrect here.
I'm repeating what Gavin said, and he's came under huge fire for that.
Don't shoot the messenger.
So what he's saying is don't trivialize the women that are out there doing things like staying at home,
like having children, raising the next generation.
Yeah, he's like, if you want to go into the workplace, by all means. But don't turn around and tell somebody that they shouldn't. And he's coming from a perspective where he had kids, so he's no longer pro-choice. He's pro-life now. Interestingly enough. He also said that his children have converted him to religion. He's a pretty strong Catholic.
Really?
And along the same lines of reversing those roles of the created order is the fact that men are becoming increasingly non-men. We're pansy men. We're becoming, as he likes to refer to it, as beta males.
Beta males, not alpha males.
Not alpha males, but beta males. So, and the ironic thing is that they become beta males so they can appeal to the women to get laid, and the women don't want to have sex.
Settle down with a beta male. They want an alpha male.
Yeah, they want an alpha male who gets out.
There's so many. I mean,
of course,
we corrupt everything. I mean, because even when you're an alpha male, I mean, we all know this sort of phenomenon that happens.
You go the other way, you start abusing.
Yeah, girls fall for the bad boy. I mean, we're not recommending that men be bad boys. Okay, when we're talking about
he talks about kind of the emasculation of men in today's TV sitcoms. Like they're kind of the running joke of the family. They're fat. They're lazy. They don't know anything. They're bumbling idiots.
They're never wise. You ever notice that?
You never
always the fool.
You never have a strong father figure. Yeah. So I loved the article because it was kind of laced. Here's a guy who is, he's Catholic, so we could consider him maybe loosely evangelical. But here he is. He runs a website that's really not in line with anything he says. And he's talking about, in the daily, he's talking about some issues that got him under fire, but are all driven from a worldview. Our worldview drives a lot of these things.
I think that this is a discussion that's been going on in academia for a very long time, and that is have the benefits of the so-called feminist movement really been benefits? And it's not really an open question. I think the answer is no. But there's still a big debate in academia. And so now what's happening, it seems to me, is that now this is percolating into pop culture. Now we got a guy who's kind of a pop culture icon that says, hey, this was kind of a raw deal. Feminism told you that the pill was going to be great for women. Think about that. Liberated sexuality. A woman can, control her own fertility now with the advent of the pill. Nobody ever thought of the unintended consequence of that. Guess who also has no consequences? Men. Men now have no consequences. So now what we've actually done is made women more ripe for use them and lose them. Terrible abuse. So there's all kinds of different consequences to these cultural things that we're doing. Great book to read on that. Mary Eberstadt. I'm hoping to have her on the program at some point. Mary Eberstadt, Adam and Eve After the Pill is the name of the book. It's on the history of feminism and the pill and all of that, and the cultural consequences of it.
Well, I agree with them on a few things, and one of them is, as an alpha male, I will punch you if you deride my wife for staying at home.
I like that. Yeah. That's pretty
I'm through
aggressive.
And through alpha male. Oh,
that's
yes.
pretty aggressive, man.
I will smack you upside the head with my knuckles.
Wow. That's really cool. No,
it isn't. It's violent. It's terrible. Okay, that's my Spindle item. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is where we look at things through the lenses of our Christian faith. Jay did not just say he was going to punch somebody, okay?
Well, I am going to say I'm going to stand up and protect my family.
You get in their grill.
I'm going to get in their grill, and I'm going to stand up and protect my family. And I think I have biblical...
You know that hothead Alec Baldwin? Alec Baldwin and I would not get along. I don't know if you guys have watched this show much, but if you know anything about me, Alec Baldwin and I are not getting along. We're talking, that guy's a rabid progressive. I'm really conservative. And he has a temper. He's really hot-tempered.
So why is he rabid and you're really...
I'm rabid.
Are you
too.
trying to? Okay, thank you.
We're equally rabid. I mean, the difference.
I don't like it when I read.
The difference is I'm right and he's wrong.
My next Spindle item is going to bring up a couple things where, like, go ahead. I'll bring.
But the difference is I'm right and he's wrong. But no, he has a big temper, and I know that people like to poke fun at him. He's kind of an ugly guy. Remember, he had that controversy where the voicemail message he left for his young teenage daughter, laced with profanity, calling her all kinds of terrible names and stuff. So
I wonder how he gets along with Steven, because I think Steven's like a pretty strong Christian.
Steven is a hardcore Christian. I follow him on Twitter, and he's a
There's a lot of stuff with Luis Palau in him. Anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, so Alec got in, another tiff with a paparazzi recently on the streets of New York, and got a little bit physical and violent with him. And of course, people use this as another example of how, Alec, that hot-tempered guy. And I actually read the story and saw what happened, and I was like totally in Alec's camp. I was like, are you kidding me? He just got out of the hospital with his wife, and they were just walking down the street, and this paparazzi is just like in their face. And he asked him, could you leave? And the guy wouldn't, So Alec grabbed the camera and had an altercation with the guy. Leave us alone, man. We're in the streets of Manhattan. Give me a break.
I think paparazzi do that on purpose because they know they get an amazing piece when they can get somebody to fly off the handle.
I really actually think that it's getting to the level, the paparazzi mobs, where there really should be laws against walking up to somebody feet away and sticking a camera lens in their face. I mean, really, because...
It happened to me the other day. The paparazzi were all over me. Never mind.
I mean, they're popping out of the bushes in the back of my house. This is just like... No, this is not a problem for us, but it does put celebrities in a bind, because if I do get into an altercation, all it does is encourage it more.
And if I don't, then they're like this.
Right. If we don't really, I feel bad for these celebrities. Get that phone out of my face. I'm gonna throw.
If I keep doing it, will you slug me?
No, I'm a Christian. I don't slug people. How do we get onto that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Was that your Spindle item?
Well, it could have been a Spindle item. I was in San Francisco this weekend. Did I mention that?
You did.
I went to a really superb banquet that was put on by the Pacific Research Institute at an extremely fine establishment in San Francisco, and it was a who's who of really, I mean, it was like if you were a progressive terrorist, detonating a bomb in this facility would have wiped out probably 2/3 of the brain power of the conservative movement. Because it was awesome.
Don't give him any ideas.
I won't give him any idea. Well, I didn't say where it was or anything, but I mean, I turned a corner. I was at a reception, where the actual waiters are going around with the glasses of wine, and so, oh yes, let me grab one of those. It's kind of cool.
You're one of those rich conservative right-wing freaks.
It was amazing. Yeah,
it's like ruining society. This was high dollar
because Democrats don't have high dollar meals
that never pay taxes.
Yeah. Because Democrats never have high dollar fundraisers.
No, they just hire high dollar artists to draw pictures of themselves.
So anyway, I was at this cool thing and met some cool people. I went and introduced myself to Scott Johnson of PowerlineBlog.com. He was super gracious, super nice. I just told him I was a huge fan, and we chatted a little bit. Almost bumped into Peter Robinson of the Hoover Institute at Stanford University. I am a huge Peter Robinson fan. I ran into Steve Hayward was there emceeing the event, American Enterprise Institute, and the keynote speaker. The Krauthammer.
What a great name.
The Krauthammer. Charles Krauthammer. Dr. Charles Krauthammer.
Dude,
greatest conservative
You just strung
columnist.
off a name of people I've never even heard of.
That's pathetic. You need to know Charles Krauthammer.
It's a great name.
Krauthammer.
Can you have a strong... Krauthammer versus Thor.
Krauthammer is the thorn in the side right now of the Obama administration. He's the most read columnist in America.
I've come to.
And he spoke for about 40 minutes, and I'll tell you what I really enjoyed about it. A lot of times at this kind of an event, you got a bunch of conservatives. What a speaker will do is toss a bunch of red meat for 40 minutes, like all about policy and how Obama's wrong about this or that. And it's like, yawn. I could turn on Sean Hannity today and hear that. Okay, give me something substantive. Krauthammer delivered. It was pure substance. He was putting Obama into historical perspective. Obama is not a raging communist trying to turn us into a totalitarian state. He is a European social democrat. This is what Krauthammer was arguing. And he made lots of interesting observations, but one of them is this. In Europe, elections, politics is played from end zone to end zone. Each election is just winner take all. It's swinging from the pendulum to left and right. It says in America, politics is played between the 40-yard lines. And what Obama has done is tried to push it to the 30-yard line. That's where we're at. We're not raging communists trying to take over the world. He's trying to bring about a liberal progressive ascendancy so that the 30-yard line now becomes the new norm. That's what he's trying to do. It was full of substance, full of tremendous analysis. Not what I expected from the event, actually. So I was very pleased. I was honored to be there.
Was the NRA there giving away a gun?
NRA was not there giving away guns, but I was there by the generosity of one of the big donors of the PRI. I mean, this is one of those $500 to $1,000 plate dealy bobbers.
How'd you get in? I know you don't have $500 or $1,000.
Like I said, I was there as a guest of a host that sponsored it.
Roll in your circles.
It was a lot of fun, I got to say. So,
speaking of the NRA. And I don't have time for my other Spindle items, so I'll save it for next week. But I saw a funny photo somebody was sharing on the internet this last weekend, and it had a picture of every sinsingle gun kind of ever made. Pistols,
that's a huge
handguns. Well, styles, types.
Okay.
Pistols, handguns, shotguns.
Yeah. They're all called AR-15s.
Yeah. It says the media guide's guide to AR-15s, and everything is labeled AR-15.
That's so true, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I'm like, I don't remember the
shooting. It's an AR-15. I remember going into our buddy Dave's
AR-15 shotgun.
Yeah, our buddy Dave has a gun shop here in town. Like we went in there one time and said, I'm looking for an AR-15 shotgun. He says, oh, I have plenty of those. So anyway, that's great.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for a Spindle. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out other episodes. Sushi, and I get counseled for marital issues.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Fantastic. I'm Jay Friesen.
I'm Brian Manson.
And this is Dead Reckoning.